Good morning, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to another episode of our Infitech 2 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, last episode we got into pneumaticcraft, started moving into that a little bit. Since then, I've removed our compression chamber, or our pressure chamber, and moved it up here, and I did upgrade it to a 4x4, so it's a little bit bigger, because actually this compressed iron is... honestly, making these is not expensive at all, especially once you have this set up. It's extremely simple. And then over here I've got it set up because we need to be able to access our interfaces to change out the item filter, and it wouldn't really work out in here. If I put the interfaces here or here, of course it would cut down on the window size, and I like having this big open window, so I just have our access for this on the side. It doesn't really bother me over here too much. So, and by the way, we're not going to upgrade this to a 5x5 just because it wouldn't fit into this space. So we're just going to leave it as a 4x4. So anyway, here we can throw items in, and they will get pulled into there, and then of course they'll come out here, and we've already got some compressed iron built up. Because I was getting ready for this episode. Plus, I was actually crafting a lot of pneumaticcraft stuff since last episode, as you will see. So down here, we actually are doing something down here. It's so exciting, right? Like, it's not just dirt and stuff. Of course, it's only one room now, and we don't have anything right through here because I haven't decided. Depending on the shape of the other rooms down here, we'll decide like where the glass is at and stuff for the windows. So for now, it's just open because I have a lot of work to do down here, and this area, of course, is rather short, only 3 high, but it's more of like an access area and automation stuff. We're not going to actually spend a lot of time down here. The same with the floor below it as well. That's going to be a lot of like the big liquid production, creosote oil, steam, all that good stuff will be down there. But anyway, in here I've actually got some iron glass doors with player sensors from Melissa's stores here, and we've got a nice big pneumatics room. So this is where, you know, pretty much all of our pneumaticcraft stuff is going to be centralized. And you'll notice I do have 2 pressure chambers that I built here because I figured these things are cheap enough, especially for not adding interfaces. I went ahead and threw together 2 4x4 pressure chambers for this area, simply so that way we have a bit more air storage. So now it can fine-tune a lot better at 4.5 bars. I did have this set at 4 bars, but I just actually upgraded this by moving the repeaters up by 1. So now it's going to go to 4.5 because honestly, with this amount of pressure chambers, it's not going to you know, speed past and explode very easily. So I went ahead and just moved that up, and you'll notice we do have 2 air compressors now. I know it's not a big change. I need to automate feeding these, or I may just put a barrel of charcoal here with like a pipe ran down, and maybe connect that barrel to the barrels that are over here, because actually right down here is our creosote production and everything, which we have 255 stacks of charcoal. So good times. But yeah, anyway, that's pneumaticcraft to date. So today we are going to start working on moving forward with pneumaticraft, which is plastic. Personally, just my personal feelings on it, I liked plastic more when it was the seeds. I know it didn't make any sense at all, but I just thought it was more fun to automate and stuff. This plastic, it's a lot more realistic, but it's not as much fun for me. But anyway, the first thing that we're going to need is going to be a refinery. Now, whenever you set these up, I would suggest... oh, I didn't grab any blaze rods. I would suggest that you go ahead and craft 4 of these, because you can actually run your refinery with only 1 refinery block. However, they stack together, and you can have up to 4 of these stacked on top of each other. And let's say you ran it with only 1 refinery block, you're only going to get, you know, that 1 output. However, if you have 4 refinery blocks, you're going to get, say, the same amount of that first material, but you're going to get 4 different materials, if that makes sense. So basically, if you run a refinery with any less than 4 blocks, 4 refinery blocks, then you're just wasting materials at that point. So I definitely don't suggest it. Okay, so we got our blaze rods, and I know Real KC on last episode's video told me that I really needed to organize my items, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I haven't done that. I'll admit I haven't done it yet. But we're so close to applied energistics. I actually did start organizing items, and I organized, I think it was like 5 things, and I was like, yeah, I think we've put in a good day's work at it. So I went on doing something else, but I will get to it, I promise. Probably once we hit applied energistics, you know. So we're going to need 6, 12, 18, 24. Hey, that works out perfect. 24 rubber bars. So let's get... Oh, we have to cook these, don't we? And I don't have any way to cook these over here, do I? Shoot. I totally forgot that these have to be cooked. Give me just a second. I will be right back. I'm going to go cook these very, very fast. Okay, welcome back. So before we start crafting that, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. I did knock out a few quests, really minor things that we've covered, or really isn't too crazy to do. First up, I did that repeatable quest for the heavy, cracked heavy fuel. So let's go ahead and get our material bag for that. And I think, yeah, it's repeatable again, so. And let's put these items just into here. And let's see what we got. No uranium? Wow, no uranium. We are lucky. Indeed. I'm actually going to... I'm going to go ahead and convert this iron over. Because we didn't actually do any of this on camera either. So. But one thing I was noticing... earlier I made a... Well... First, I made a stack of 64 of the compressed iron, and a stack of it took a while. That was with the old setup with just, you know, the one little tank and blah, blah, blah. It took a while, and it actually drained all the compression out. Now, if you notice that half stack, it knocked that out like it was nothing. And if you notice, our air pressure didn't really drop. That's because we have those pressure chambers, and so they're acting like a tank. And they can, you know, we can keep a large amount of pressure and not lose it very easily. We would have to be doing a lot of stuff to lose that pressure because we've got it balanced so high, if that makes sense. Also, I went ahead and I made the universal macerator because I figured it's about time. That way we can get some byproducts and stuff. And it's really not that crazy to craft. You know, we've got diamonds now, and then just some HV pieces. Nothing too bad. So we'll get our material bag for that, and I'm gonna pull this out just in case we get uranium. No uranium. Cool. We didn't really get much of nothing though. We got a little bit of tin and a little bit of gold out of that one. It wasn't that one wasn't too great. And then also the TNT, because it was mainly a like these first 3 I had to do. Now the rest of this, all these other stages, it just automatically filled those in, those last 2. But it was mainly a process of turning in some of the fuels that we were using to create TNT. Okay, so we welcome back. I don't know why it crashed all of a sudden when I put the industrial credit in there. But anyway, in that last material bag, we got 20 steel and 27 lead. So not too bad for today. So let's go ahead and get this stuff crafted up. So like I said, the first thing that we're going to want is 4 of these refinery blocks. So we're going to need some heat conductors, copper plates. Yeah, we're good on those. Okay. Just realized I forgot to double check that, but I thought we were pretty well set on those. So okay, welcome back. So we've got everything now to get this crafted up. So our pneumatic hulls, we're going to need, oh, it's probably not going to automatically do that for us. There's our pneumatic casings, and then that, oh, you know what, I've got a stack of this stuff going right now, so it's not a problem. Just forgot to grab that. God, my inventory's already bad, but I had grabbed a bunch of, you know, materials and stuff that I thought we might need as we got this stuff crafted up today. So there's that, and then we should be, oh yeah, we're gonna need 8 of these, and let's actually go ahead and make 2 more because we're gonna need those in just a second, so we might as well. And now we should be all set. And there's our 4 refineries. And then while we're over here, let's go ahead and get our thermo-pneumatic processing plant. There's not too much more to crafting here. Oh, I need rubber. I swear I keep forgetting something. But we will go ahead and get some. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to run this through the extruder. Okay, and let me go grab some rubber bars real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. So let's just really quickly get this crafted up now. I do believe, oh yeah, shoot. I thought we had everything. I keep forgetting about the copper plates. I see the bronze, and damn it, I mistake the bronze for the copper plates every time. Anyway, so there's our copper and our rubber bars, and then we'll also need this heat vent if I can find the thing. This isn't too bad to make, and then we should be all no, I'm sorry, we need this pneumatic hull. That's right. That and that. Oh, I'm gonna need a couple wrought iron plates. Let me put some of this stuff up actually in here. Mainly that, just to get that extra space. So those, we'll probably end up having to make more of these actually fairly soon. But there's our processing plant, and then the last thing that we're going to want to get started is going to be a plastic mixer, mainly just glass, pneumatic hull, a couple more of these heat conductors. Oh, you know what, I need more rubber. I'm gonna have to go make more now. I'm totally out of rubber sheets. We're gonna need some bronze rotors. These, we actually had most of the stuff made up to craft these. So that, and then what, file, hammer, screwdriver. Oh, I never have a file on me. Okay, I'm gonna get this stuff made up really quick, and go get some more rubber bars and stuff, and then I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. So I've got the plastic mixer crafted up. Now the last thing, I'm debating how I want to do this, because there's a few different ways that you can apply heat to this. Like the plastic mixer is going to require heat. If I recall, yeah, the refinery is going to require heat, and then the I'm not sure about the processing plant. I can't recall. It's been a little while. I want to say it doesn't, because I recall there's like one I thought that doesn't need it, but maybe they all do. But anyway, we'll go ahead and start setting this stuff up over here. So what do we want to set this? I'm thinking over here, honestly. Well, I'll tell you what, for now, eventually I'm going to move it down there. For now, though, I'm going to set it right here just so it's closer and we don't have to run pressure tubes all the way down there, because, you know, since we don't have the rest of the stuff that's going to go in here, it seems a bit excessive at the moment, you know, to run it all the way over. So, let's set up our refinery. Oh, you know what I just realized? Because we're going to have to stack this on top of each other. It kind of creates an issue. I mean, I can do it like this, or something. Maybe not right there, because we need space to get the heating in and everything. But let's say we put it like right here. That'll work for right now, and then we'll move it, and I'll figure out something. I don't know what I'll do for sure, but I have a slight idea. And then what we'll do is, let's see, we'll run some pressure tubes to like here, I think, or no, I think it has to connect in the top. Well, let's go ahead and make it. I think we're going to use a vortex tube for supplying that with heat, I think. We'll see how it goes, because the only thing that I'm concerned about is a lot of times the vortex heat is going to, or the vortex tube will pull so much pressure that it's going to cause the machine, or the pressure system, to run out. But we'll see. We'll upgrade the whole system fairly soon, though, so I'm not too concerned about it, as long as it can hold out for just a little while. So we're going to need another one of these heat vents, and then there we go, pneumatic hull. That I need to, God, I already used like a stack of those again. I've used a lot of the compressed iron. Luckily, it's really easy to make at this point, like super simple. Oh yeah, I need some wrought iron plates. Yeah, let's grab that. And that. And that. That. Okay, now we should be good to get our vortex tube. No, I'm out of compressed iron. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, we'll come back. So I just threw that other stack of compressed iron in there. So the way the vortex tube works is, if you place it down, you'll notice there's a red side and a blue side. Now the red side is going to emit heat, the blue side is going to emit cool air. So naturally, since we want the heat, we're going to want to plug it into the red side, or plug the red side into the refinery there. I'm actually going to need some more wires, or not wires, tubes. Okay, let me grab some of these, and oh, that's right, it's not gonna do it because I'm using tools with it. Okay, that. Okay. And so it's going to use air pressure to emit hot and cold air. Now it's really powerful. There are a few other ways to get heat, namely like the advanced compressors can generate heat, but we are just going to use the vortex tube. I usually like using it. And once you have a pretty solid system, the draw on air pressure really isn't anything to worry about, really. So it's draining just a little bit right now, but it is going to heat this up. If you notice, it's up to 120 degrees Celsius, and rising. So now it's hot enough to actually process oil. So if we were to take, I've got this. I went out and got that because I wasn't sure if this heavy oil would work. We'll try the heavy oil and see what happens. Just as kind of like a test. But I went out and found some pneumaticcraft oil as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, I can't bottle that or bucket that. Let me see if maybe we can rig this up. But I knew that when I looked at the recipes, there wasn't anything listed for using heavy oil, so I assume that it's not going to work. But yeah, it's not. It's not going to work with that kind of oil. Oh, that's fine. So what we're going to do is let's actually put the oil drum like right here for right now. Keep in mind all this is temporary setup because we'll end up moving this down a little ways, but we're going to extract that oil and you'll see it's filling up. Now I'm using, this is pneumaticcraft oil that you can find just above ground. I've been having a lot of luck in desert areas finding it. So, but you'll notice that we are now producing diesel, kerosene, gasoline, and LPG. And what I want to do is I actually want to get some drums. So like this one. And we're just going to run it. I want to run this up. And there we go. So that one is going to be diesel. And you know what, actually, what I want to do, because I've had issues with this in the past, backing up one liquid type, and it's honestly kind of a pain. So I think I'm going to run these out as separate lines, because in the past, when I had them all connected, it would start running diesel, for example, and it wouldn't pump out anything else until diesel got finished, to the point that it was backed up, kind of a thing. So I'd rather run them as separate lines. What happened to the drum of... Oh, I'll put it right there. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, we'll just use these. Okay. And yeah, I got all three of them. So now we've got diesel, which can be used as a power source. But the thing is, all of these fuels, or all of these liquids, you can crack them down into the lesser version. So you've got like diesel here, you've got kerosene, gasoline, and LPG. So diesel is like the heaviest, I guess you would say, and if you crack that down, you'll get kerosene, then kerosene to gasoline, gasoline to LPG. And LPG is what we're going to be using to make the plastics. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to pump this one out to here. And I mean, I could put the barrels like here, and it, you know, some of them over there or whatever, but oh, I hate this one. I'll end up, like I said, I'll end up figuring out something for us to do with that, so that it won't be an issue anymore. But for now, it's just going to have to be that way. And then actually this last one, the LPG barrel, let's just set it right here actually. And we will just pump out from here. Because the LPG, I want to go ahead and we'll just pump that in to create plastic, because that's what we're going to be doing with that straight out anyway. So the LPG will just pump out over to here. And so now we've got all of our liquids coming out, and we'll actually use up these. They're going to be really, really useful for us. So the next thing that we're going to want to set up is this pneumatic processing plant. So let's put this like right here maybe. And let me check. I don't think that this hooks up. I believe it uses heat, if I recall. But it has been a little while, so I can't say that with 100% surety. Maybe it... Okay, maybe it does use... Huh, okay. Maybe it does use air pressure. And so... Put a torch over there. So we're going to... Shoot, I've got this issue here now. I could put a thing there, I guess. Bum. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna run it around, actually, because might as well. I'm not too concerned about it, because it doesn't. It's not like the Greg Tech stuff. We're not going to lose the amount of, like, say, air pressure that's in here, like the farther that it has to travel or anything. It doesn't really matter as far as that goes. So we'll set that right there. And then let's actually move our LPG drum to, say, like right here. Break that. And then what we'll do is we'll just pump the LPG into this. And there we go. So we've got LPG in there now. And the way that we're going to create plastic, which it's going to create like a molten plastic first. If we look in here, we're going to combine LPG with coal. And it's going to just use a little bit of pressure. You can run this at, you know, pretty much bottomed out. So... Okay, maybe it does require heat. Yes, it does. I remember, because it... No? That's for the plastic mixer. Okay, we'll find out in just a second. Maybe it just produces heat. I can't recall. I just always vortex tube everything. So we'll see. Let me go grab some coal really quickly, and I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. So now, what we can do is we can just take this coal... Where'd I put it? And throw it right in there, and it's going to combine these two. Now, okay, it does look like we're going to need heat. So, that's fine. What we'll do is, let's go craft another vortex tube, I guess. Or I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. Let's just... Let me see. Let me craft some more tubes, because we're about out of pneumatics tubes. What I've done in the past a lot of times when I'm starting out a system, you know, I like using the vortex tubes because they're very efficient as far as they do what they're meant to do very well. Like, they'll heat up extremely quick. Now they do use a bit of pressure, which won't be an issue in the long term, because, you know, charcoal, we've got tons of that, and so I'm not too concerned about charcoal usage. Which actually, well, actually we're only going to use the charcoal very temporarily with this, and then we'll actually be changing this over to a liquid-based system. But a lot of times what I've done in the past is I'll rotate my vortex tube, because, like, it's going to drain out too much pressure if we just run it constantly for everything. So what we're going to do... Or wait, I didn't even have that plugged up. Will this... Okay, this still doesn't... Okay. That's what I was thinking, but... So let's... I don't know, though. Does it actually need pressure? I can't recall. Not enough heat. Okay, but if we look at the plastic here... liquid plastic, like, nothing Basically nothing in here is really requiring... Ah, okay, that's what it is. If we go to break down like diesel into kerosene, kerosene into gasoline, or gasoline into LPG, we're actually going to need some air pressure, but that's fine. We're not going to do that right now anyway. So what we'll do is I'm going to set up basically a circuit, because what will happen is I'm going to break that, and I'm also going to set up a circuit with this one, so that way we don't lose air pressure. Because if I just like broke this vortex tube without setting up a circuit there, it would have lost air pressure. But since I set up that circuit, we're not going to lose any air pressure whenever we break it, which is ideal for us. And let's... No. Okay. Set it up like that. So that's going to start heating up, and this should, here in just a second, create our first liquid plastic. There we go. And if you notice, it is 100 LPG for 1,000 liquid plastic. And what we're going to do is I'll tell you what, I'm out of drums. I think I've got some upstairs. I love drums, by the way, if you couldn't tell. That's hydrogen. We'll take this drum for now. And we'll just pump that into another drum that's going to store our liquid plastic, and we're going to need tons of this, so I'm just going to pretty well just let this create liquid plastic from here on out. Now eventually we'll be able to just have this fully automated and not have to move our vortex tube around and everything, and it will be a lot easier on us. But so there we go. We've got liquid plastic going in there now and draining out of here, and that's actually emptied out now. So I'm going to snatch this vortex tube, and then the last step, we're going to need to use the plastic mixer. Now this block, once again, this one does require heat. We're just going to set it right there, and we're going to add some fluid conduits here to pull this out into there. So we're filling up with liquid plastic, and let's give this some heat, and let's make a quick circuit for this as well. Nope. Does it have to go? Yeah, it does have to go on this side. Okay. No, it doesn't. It can, let me see, because it can rotate so that the nozzle is at the top, which is what we want. Nope. Nope. I want the nozzle. Yeah, I want. Well, you know what? That'll work. That'll work just fine. So we'll make a quick circuit like that. So now this has heat. And basically what this will do is, if we were to put in our colors here, like cactus green, rose red, and some lapis, now you'll see it's going to start heating up. And what we can do is we can pull up our plastic selection here, and let's see, the first colors that I want to go for are, I think we're going to go, first thing we're going to go for is probably the advanced air compressors. If you notice, they're fairly cheap. They do take these advanced hulls, some advanced pressure tubes, and some blue plastic, and some blue plastic here as well. And the advanced tubes, oh, you have to make these with the assembly setup. So yeah, I think the first color, well, these don't, okay, these require the blue and orange. Okay, so we're going to make just some blue plastic, for example. So what we can do is we'll just hit, say, blue, and that's going to give us a piece of blue plastic. Now we can hit lock selection and then select blue, and you'll notice that it's going to run through all of our blue plastic, all of our plastic, and just keep making blue as much as it can. So that's how we make plastic. Now the other thing that we're going to need in order to really move forward with pneumatic craft is etching acid. And this stuff is fairly easy to get, if I recall. Well, how do we... Okay, maybe here. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so it's a little bit different. We're going to need to run water cells and nitric acid through the mixer. So nitric acid is nitrogen dioxide, some oxygen, and some water in a chemical reactor. So let me get this stuff together. It's basically just a bunch of hydrogen and or nitrogen and oxygen and some water and stuff. It's fairly easy to make. It's just kind of time consuming with our setup right now. So now that we have that, the next thing that we're going to need is a circuit board. Let's see, right here, this empty PCB. So to craft these, we're going to need some annealed copper foil and epoxy coated plastic, which is polyethylene sheets in a chemical bath with, oh wow, molten epoxide. Okay, so we're gonna save this part for next episode. But we did get our etching acid. But I know the episode's running close to 30 minutes right now, and I don't want it to, you know, I don't want to run it way over again. So next episode, when we come back, we'll get our printed circuit boards, because once we, now that we have the etching acid, once we get those started, it won't take us too long. And I'm going to get some plastic built up so that we have that ready for next episode. So hopefully next episode we will get our first unassembled PCBs together, and then hopefully I'll show you how to use this stuff to make it a bit easier to make your PCBs in the future, because once we get those PCBs started, making these isn't going to be an issue at all. So hopefully get that started, get into that next episode. So I hope you guys join me for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. So, why will you not break? Oh, because my drill's empty. Makes sense. Okay. But anyway, I hope you guys join me for next episode. And if you enjoyed this one, as always, please comment, like, subscribe, share. It's very, very much appreciated. And next episode, we may dive into magic for the actual next episode, because I know magic should be up next, but we may instead come straight back into pneumaticraft next episode instead of doing a magic episode, and maybe postpone it a little bit since we're right in the middle of pneumaticraft right now. So anyway, I hope you guys join me for that, and until next episode, do take care, and I hope to see you guys then.